My name is James, and I was a committed atheist for most of my life. I proudly identified with reason, logic, and science, fully convinced that religion, God, and spirituality were outdated concepts. To me, belief in God was merely a comforting illusion created by humans afraid of death and uncertainty. I respected others' beliefs, but privately considered them misguided, even naive. My worldview was logical, rational, and entirely materialistic. But everything I believed changed dramatically one evening, during a moment that transformed my life completely. It began as a normal day. I was driving home from work, thinking about my weekend plans. Suddenly, another car swerved into my lane, causing a severe head-on collision. The impact was violent and instantaneous. In that brief moment, my entire world faded into darkness. What happened next shocked me. I felt no pain, no fear, just an unexpected peace and an indescribable sense of floating upward. I realized quickly and clearly that I was outside of my body, looking down at the accident scene. Emergency responders rushed around frantically, trying to revive me, yet I felt calm, detached, and strangely peaceful. In my confusion, I acknowledged the unthinkable. I had died, but that wasn't the end. Instead, I began ascending into a bright, comforting light, unlike anything I'd ever imagined. Its brilliance filled me with warmth, compassion, and infinite peace. It was incredibly real, far beyond anything my skeptical mind had previously imagined. As I entered this radiant, beautiful place, a powerful yet gentle presence approached me. In an instant, I recognized him, even though I had previously denied his very existence. It was Jesus Christ. His appearance was profound, gentle, and authoritative. I was overcome by a deep feeling of being completely known, fully loved, and perfectly understood. Yet in that moment, confusion arose within me. I felt disbelief, shock, even embarrassment. How could I, an atheist who openly rejected God, now be standing face to face with Jesus himself? Before I could speak, Jesus addressed me gently, compassionately, with understanding that penetrated deeply into my soul. His first words were gentle, yet powerful. "James, I've always been here, even when you didn't believe." Immediately, I felt overwhelmed, not by judgment or condemnation, but by incredible compassion and understanding. Jesus didn't scold or ridicule my disbelief. Instead, he gently showed me my life from a completely different perspective, one filled with profound love, compassion, purpose, and deeper truths that I had previously misunderstood or entirely overlooked. Standing in his presence, I felt both deeply humbled and sincerely curious. Gathering my courage, I asked him directly, "If you've always been real, why didn't I ever feel your presence before? Why did I remain so convinced that you didn't exist?" He responded gently, clearly, and compassionately. "James, you didn't feel my presence because your heart and mind were closed. You trusted exclusively in your intellect and your own understanding, dismissing anything beyond material reality. But even then, I was always with you, patiently waiting, gently guiding, quietly offering opportunities for you to discover deeper truths." His words resonated deeply within me. I suddenly realized clearly how often in life I'd dismissed spiritual experiences or subtle moments of connection, rationalizing them away as mere coincidence or imagination. I had unknowingly chosen intellectual pride and skepticism over genuine openness, humility, and authentic spiritual exploration. As Jesus continued, he explained compassionately, "Your disbelief wasn't due to lack of evidence or reason. It was rooted deeply in misunderstanding and fear of being vulnerable, humble, and open to truths beyond your immediate understanding. True spiritual connection requires humility, openness, and willingness to explore beyond the material world." His words gently challenged everything I'd previously believed. I recognized clearly that my atheism, though sincere, had been deeply rooted in personal pride, a desire to control, and reluctance to acknowledge spiritual mysteries that challenged my limited worldview. Standing before Jesus, I felt no shame, only compassion and gentle understanding. My heart slowly began opening to the possibility that my beliefs had been incomplete, limited, and deeply mistaken. I sincerely asked Jesus another important question. Is religion, then, the answer? I rejected religion because I saw hypocrisy, judgment, and division. Was I wrong about that as well? He compassionately replied, clearly explaining, James, many religions have misunderstood or misrepresented my message, creating confusion, judgment, or hypocrisy. The true spiritual journey isn't about religious traditions or rules alone. It's profoundly about authentic relationship, genuine compassion, humility, forgiveness, and deep personal connection with me. Many reject me because they've encountered human distortions of spiritual truth rather than genuine encounters with my compassion and love. Listening to his explanation, I understood clearly why so many, including myself, had rejected spirituality. We often encountered distortions, human-created religious rules, judgmental attitudes, hypocrisy, rather than genuine spiritual connection, compassion, and profound love. I gently asked another sincere question. Why, then, do humans struggle so much to understand spiritual truth clearly? Why is there so much disagreement about who you are? Jesus gently replied, because humanity filters spiritual truth through limited human perspectives. Often influenced by fear, pride, and selfish motives, spiritual truths become distorted, misunderstood, or misrepresented. Yet, authentic spiritual connection remains simple, profound, and accessible to anyone sincerely seeking compassion, humility, forgiveness, and genuine relationship with me. Standing before him, I deeply understood clearly my previous disbelief wasn't merely logical or intellectual. It had been profoundly influenced by limited perspectives, pride, fear, and unwillingness to humbly explore deeper spiritual truths. My heart genuinely opened clearly, profoundly reconsidering everything I'd believed. Standing face to face with Jesus, my entire understanding of life, existence, and spirituality was shifting profoundly. My previous beliefs, so firmly rooted in atheism, logic, and materialism, now seemed incomplete, limited, and even shallow. Yet, Jesus never made me feel guilty or ashamed. Instead, he patiently guided me toward deeper, compassionate truths. Feeling a growing curiosity, I asked another question sincerely. Lord, if you're real, then why do so many intelligent, rational people still reject the idea of your existence? He gently replied, deeply compassionate and patient. James, intelligence or rationality alone don't prevent people from discovering me. The barrier is often pride, the belief that human reason alone can fully explain reality. Many people reject me because they're unwilling to acknowledge truths beyond human understanding, to admit their own limitations, or to open themselves to genuine mystery, humility, and spiritual exploration. His words resonated deeply. I suddenly saw my past clearly. I had often dismissed spiritual experiences, quietly mocking religious believers because I felt intellectually superior. My pride had stopped me from sincerely exploring spirituality. I understood clearly. My atheism wasn't purely rational. It was deeply rooted in personal pride, a fear of vulnerability, and unwillingness to admit my limitations. I asked Jesus sincerely again, if pride is the barrier, how can intelligent, rational people genuinely discover spiritual truth? He gently responded clearly. True spiritual discovery begins with humility, admitting the limitations of human understanding, sincerely questioning your beliefs, and authentically opening your heart to deeper truths. Anyone who humbly seeks spiritual truth with genuine openness, curiosity, and sincerity will eventually encounter me clearly and profoundly. As he spoke, I realized genuinely that humility, not blind faith, was the true gateway to spiritual clarity. Intelligent, rational individuals could genuinely discover spiritual truth, provided they humbly acknowledged the possibility that reality extended far beyond human reason or scientific measurement alone. I then sincerely asked him another deeply personal question. Lord, I often saw religion as the cause of much division, conflict, and suffering in the world. Was I wrong? Jesus compassionately replied, explaining clearly. James, religion often becomes distorted by human fears, pride, and misunderstanding. Many conflicts arise not from genuine spiritual truth, but from human misinterpretations, fear-based traditions, or prideful misuse of spiritual authority. Genuine spirituality unites humanity, emphasizing compassion, humility, forgiveness, and authentic love. True connection with me heals division, inspires reconciliation, and awakens humanity toward unity, compassion, and peace. His explanation profoundly impacted me. I finally understood clearly that the suffering or conflict I once blamed on religion was primarily caused by human distortions, pride, misunderstanding, and misuse, not genuine spiritual truth or authentic connection with God. I then sincerely asked him another important question. If genuine spirituality unites humanity, why does it seem so difficult for humans to find that unity and peace? Jesus gently replied clearly, because humans often choose separation, pride, fear, and selfishness over genuine spiritual connection, humility, forgiveness, and compassion. Unity requires humility, vulnerability, forgiveness, and genuine openness, qualities humanity often avoids. Yet every soul authentically seeking peace, unity, compassion, and genuine spiritual connection will profoundly experience infinite peace, unity, and abundant clarity within my compassionate presence. I deeply understood clearly. Humanity's struggle for unity arose from collective pride, unwillingness to forgive, selfish ambitions, and spiritual misunderstanding, not from genuine spiritual truth itself. True spiritual connection profoundly inspired genuine unity, infinite compassion, authentic humility, forgiveness, and eternal peace, abundantly available within God's infinite compassion. Standing before him, I genuinely felt profound humility. I asked him another deeply personal question. Lord, if my life was previously disconnected spiritually, was my life meaningless or wasted? He compassionately reassured me clearly. James, your life was never meaningless or wasted. Even your journey through atheism profoundly prepared you, teaching compassion, humility, understanding, and empathy toward others similarly struggling. Every human experience profoundly holds meaning, contributing to humanity's collective spiritual awakening, compassion, forgiveness, humility, and eternal unity. Jesus lovingly emphasized clearly, your experience will now powerfully impact countless others, offering genuine hope, profound clarity, authentic compassion, and spiritual awakening to individuals experiencing doubt, disbelief, skepticism, or spiritual confusion. No human life, including yours, is ever wasted. Every experience profoundly contributes toward deeper spiritual awakening, infinite compassion, and eternal unity. Listening clearly, my heart deeply understood. My previous atheism profoundly held spiritual purpose, genuinely preparing me toward deeper humility, authentic compassion, genuine forgiveness, and profound spiritual clarity. Every human journey profoundly impacted humanity's collective spiritual growth, authentic love, infinite forgiveness, genuine humility, and eternal unity abundantly available within God's compassionate presence. I sincerely asked another question. Lord, if people struggle to believe in you because of suffering, pain, or injustice they see, what would you say to them? He gently replied compassionately, James, suffering or injustice deeply troubles human hearts, causing doubt or confusion. Yet suffering profoundly reflects humanity's collective separation from genuine compassion, authentic love, forgiveness, humility, and spiritual truth. Rather than disproving my existence, suffering profoundly demonstrates humanity's urgent need for genuine spiritual reconnection, authentic compassion, forgiveness, humility, and eternal unity clearly available within my compassionate presence. He lovingly continued clearly, I am profoundly present within suffering, quietly comforting broken hearts, gently offering healing, compassion, clarity, and eternal restoration profoundly beyond earthly understanding. Suffering profoundly inspires humanity toward deeper compassion, humility, forgiveness, authentic love, and eternal unity abundantly available within my compassionate presence. Standing before him, I deeply understood clearly. Human suffering, though deeply troubling, profoundly inspired authentic spiritual awakening, genuine compassion, forgiveness, humility, and eternal unity clearly within God's infinite compassionate presence. In that profound moment, my heart genuinely opened clearly, profoundly understanding spiritual truths I'd previously misunderstood or dismissed. My previous atheism, though sincere, had profoundly overlooked deeper truths genuinely beyond human understanding, truths involving authentic compassion, infinite forgiveness, genuine humility, eternal purpose, and profound spiritual connection abundantly available within God's compassionate presence. Standing before Jesus, my heart and mind were deeply humbled and transformed. Everything I thought I knew about life, existence, and spirituality was shifting profoundly. His gentle patience, infinite compassion, and deep wisdom opened my eyes clearly to truths I had once stubbornly dismissed. Feeling sincere curiosity, I asked another deeply personal question. Lord, if my disbelief prevented me from connecting with you, in life, what happens to people who never come to believe or understand these truths during their earthly lives? He looked at me gently, with infinite compassion clearly in his eyes, and responded lovingly, James, every soul is eternally cherished, profoundly loved, and infinitely valued. Even those who struggle deeply with disbelief, doubt, or misunderstanding are never abandoned or forgotten. I continually seek every soul, patiently offering countless opportunities, both in life and beyond, for spiritual awakening, genuine compassion, forgiveness, and eternal unity. He compassionately emphasized clearly, no soul is ever lost or eternally rejected simply due to earthly misunderstanding or disbelief. Every individual eternally experiences infinite compassion, abundant spiritual clarity, profound healing, and eternal opportunities toward genuine spiritual connection, abundantly available within my infinite love. Listening clearly, I deeply understood. Every soul eternally mattered, deeply cherished, and infinitely loved within God's infinite compassionate presence. Even souls experiencing disbelief, doubt, or misunderstanding eternally received profound compassion, spiritual clarity, genuine forgiveness, and abundant opportunities toward eternal unity. I sincerely asked another heartfelt question clearly. If every soul eventually experiences spiritual awakening and eternal compassion, what's the purpose of believing or seeking spiritual truth now? Jesus gently replied compassionately, James, authentic spiritual seeking profoundly transforms earthly life, offering genuine peace, infinite compassion, authentic humility, meaningful relationships, abundant fulfillment, and profound purpose right now. Spiritual awakening doesn't merely impact eternity. It profoundly transforms earthly existence, clearly bringing abundant clarity, infinite compassion, genuine fulfillment, profound peace, and authentic connection into daily life. He lovingly explained clearly, choosing spiritual truth, authentic compassion, forgiveness, and genuine humility profoundly impacts earthly relationships, emotional well-being, genuine fulfillment, profound peace, and meaningful purpose, clearly available within daily life. Genuine spiritual awakening profoundly transforms every aspect of human experience, clearly creating abundant peace, infinite compassion, genuine joy, profound fulfillment, and eternal wisdom abundantly available now within my compassionate presence. Listening clearly, I deeply understood profoundly. Authentic spiritual connection wasn't merely about eternal salvation. It profoundly impacted earthly life, clearly bringing infinite compassion, genuine fulfillment, abundant peace, profound wisdom, authentic relationships, and eternal clarity abundantly into daily existence. I asked another important question clearly. Lord, I previously viewed religion as restrictive or judgmental, limiting personal freedom. Is genuine spirituality restrictive, or does it offer authentic freedom? Jesus gently replied compassionately, James, genuine spirituality profoundly offers true freedom, freedom from fear, pride, loneliness, emptiness, bitterness, anxiety, and spiritual confusion. Many misunderstand spirituality as restrictive because they've encountered distorted religious traditions, judgmental attitudes, or fear-based rules created by human misunderstanding. Authentic spiritual connection genuinely sets humanity free, clearly bringing abundant peace, genuine fulfillment, infinite compassion, profound wisdom, and eternal joy abundantly into life. His explanation clearly resonated deeply within me. I realized profoundly my previous belief that spirituality limited freedom was deeply mistaken. True spirituality profoundly freed humanity from fear, loneliness, emptiness, anxiety, pride, and bitterness, clearly offering genuine fulfillment, infinite compassion, authentic peace, abundant clarity, and eternal wisdom abundantly within God's compassionate presence. I asked him another sincere question clearly. Lord, if genuine spiritual truth brings authentic freedom, fulfillment, and peace, how can people clearly recognize distorted or misleading spiritual teachings? He gently replied clearly, authentic spiritual truth profoundly emphasizes compassion, humility, forgiveness, genuine love, and unity. Distorted teachings often emphasize fear, judgment, division, pride, rigid rules, or spiritual superiority. Humanity recognizes authentic spiritual truth through genuine compassion, authentic humility, sincere forgiveness, abundant peace, genuine unity, and profound love clearly reflected within teachings, beliefs, and spiritual communities. He lovingly emphasized clearly, every genuine spiritual truth profoundly reflects infinite compassion, authentic love, abundant humility, sincere forgiveness, genuine unity, profound peace, and eternal wisdom abundantly available within my compassionate presence. Any teaching clearly lacking compassion, humility, forgiveness, or genuine love profoundly reveals distortion or misunderstanding, not genuine spiritual truth. Listening clearly, my heart deeply understood profoundly. Authentic spiritual truth profoundly emphasized genuine compassion, humility, forgiveness, love, unity, and peace, clearly available abundantly within God's compassionate presence. Humanity genuinely recognized spiritual distortions through fear-based attitudes, pride, division, judgment, rigid rules, or lack of authentic compassion. I then sincerely asked another heartfelt question clearly. Lord, how can those who've rejected spirituality due to negative religious experiences find genuine spiritual truth clearly? Jesus gently replied compassionately, James, many souls reject spirituality because they have encountered human distortions, negative experiences, or fear-based teachings. Yet every soul genuinely seeking authentic spiritual connection profoundly discovers infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, abundant fulfillment, authentic love, profound wisdom, and eternal peace, clearly available abundantly within my compassionate presence. He lovingly encouraged clearly, invite those who've experienced negative religious experiences gently toward authentic spiritual exploration, clearly emphasizing genuine compassion, authentic humility, sincere forgiveness, and profound spiritual connection abundantly available within my infinite love. Genuine spiritual truth profoundly heals past hurts, gently restoring souls toward abundant peace, authentic love, infinite compassion, profound clarity, and eternal unity clearly within my compassionate presence. Standing before him, my heart profoundly understood clearly. Souls previously rejecting spirituality profoundly discovered authentic healing, genuine spiritual reconnection, abundant fulfillment, infinite compassion, and eternal peace genuinely within God's infinite compassionate presence. No previous rejection, hurt, or negative experience permanently prevented genuine spiritual awakening or eternal connection abundantly available within His infinite compassion. Listening clearly, my previous atheism profoundly shifted, authentically transforming into genuine humility, compassionate openness, sincere forgiveness, authentic spiritual seeking, and profound eternal clarity, clearly within His compassionate presence. My heart genuinely opened profoundly, clearly understanding deeper spiritual truths I'd previously misunderstood, dismissed, or rejected. As my extraordinary experience with Jesus reached its conclusion, my heart felt profoundly humbled, deeply transformed, and infinitely grateful. My entire worldview, previously rooted firmly in atheism, logic, and materialism, had shifted clearly toward genuine humility, authentic compassion, sincere spiritual openness, and abundant clarity within His compassionate presence. I asked Jesus one final heartfelt question clearly. Lord, what's the single most important message you want humanity, especially those struggling with disbelief, doubt, or skepticism, to clearly understand? He compassionately responded clearly, gently emphasizing every word. James, tell humanity clearly, every soul is infinitely valued, deeply cherished, eternally loved, profoundly meaningful, and genuinely invited toward authentic spiritual awakening, infinite compassion, abundant fulfillment, genuine forgiveness, and eternal unity abundantly available within my infinite compassionate presence. No disbelief, doubt, or skepticism permanently separates souls eternally. Every heart, genuinely seeking spiritual truth, profoundly discovers abundant peace, authentic compassion, infinite love, profound clarity, and eternal unity abundantly within my compassionate presence. His gentle words deeply impacted my heart clearly, reminding me profoundly, every human being infinitely mattered, deeply cherished, genuinely loved, eternally meaningful, profoundly invited toward authentic spiritual awakening, abundant fulfillment, genuine forgiveness, infinite compassion, and everlasting peace, clearly within God's compassionate, eternal presence. He continued gently and compassionately, encourage humanity toward genuine humility, authentic openness, sincere forgiveness, profound compassion, and patient spiritual exploration, clearly available abundantly within my compassionate presence. Genuine spiritual connection profoundly heals disbelief, doubt, hurt, misunderstanding, or skepticism, clearly offering abundant clarity, infinite compassion, genuine fulfillment, authentic love, profound peace, and eternal unity abundantly available within my compassionate presence. Listening clearly, my heart profoundly understood genuinely. Humanity profoundly existed intentionally to experience authentic spiritual awakening, infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, eternal unity, abundant fulfillment, and everlasting peace, clearly within God's compassionate, eternal presence. Suddenly, I gently felt myself quickly returning toward earth, departing peacefully from Jesus' infinite compassionate presence. As I gently left, He lovingly reassured me clearly once more. James, courageously share your powerful testimony, clearly, compassionately, authentically, and humbly. Your profound experience genuinely awakens countless souls clearly toward authentic compassion, genuine forgiveness, infinite love, abundant fulfillment, profound spiritual clarity, and everlasting unity, abundantly available within my compassionate eternal presence. Instantly, I gently awoke back in my earthly body, gasping deeply as I lay in the hospital bed. Doctors and nurses immediately surrounded me, clearly amazed, deeply relieved by my unexpected return to life. Doctors later explained clearly, I had briefly experienced clinical death, my survival clearly medically unexplainable, undeniably miraculous. Over the following weeks, months, and eventually years, I openly shared my extraordinary testimony, clearly, compassionately, authentically, and courageously, with family, friends, and eventually others worldwide. Many initially responded skeptically, doubting, misunderstanding, or rejecting my incredible experience. Yet, as I continued clearly, lovingly, sincerely sharing my powerful story, countless souls worldwide profoundly experienced genuine spiritual awakening, authentic compassion, infinite forgiveness, abundant fulfillment, profound peace, and eternal unity abundantly available within God's infinite compassionate presence. My profound testimony quickly became widely shared, clearly awakening countless souls profoundly toward genuine spiritual clarity, authentic compassion, infinite forgiveness, abundant fulfillment, and eternal peace clearly within God's infinite love. Individuals deeply questioning life's meaning, experiencing disbelief, doubt, skepticism, spiritual emptiness, loneliness, confusion, grief, illness, or loss profoundly experienced authentic spiritual awakening, clearly reconnecting genuinely with infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, eternal purpose, profound clarity, and everlasting unity abundantly within God's compassionate presence. Families experiencing grief, illness, loss, confusion, disbelief, or spiritual emptiness clearly discovered profound comfort, genuine compassion, abundant clarity, and everlasting peace clearly through my powerful testimony. Souls deeply disconnected spiritually profoundly experienced authentic spiritual reconnection, clearly discovering infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, abundant fulfillment, and everlasting peace abundantly available within God's infinite love. Sharing my testimony openly wasn't always easy. I occasionally experienced harsh criticism, misunderstanding, rejection, or skepticism from individuals unable or unwilling to clearly embrace profound spiritual truths. Yet, through everything, I courageously remembered Jesus' gentle encouragement, clearly urging compassionate courage, genuine humility, authentic love, patient forgiveness, truthful clarity, and profound compassion within my testimony, far more profoundly important than fear of rejection, criticism, misunderstanding, or skepticism. Today, clearly reflecting profoundly upon my extraordinary journey, my heart profoundly fills infinitely with genuine humility, infinite gratitude, compassionate clarity, eternal peace, authentic forgiveness, genuine spiritual awakening, abundant fulfillment, and everlasting unity. Clearly understanding life's deepest purpose genuinely involves authentic spiritual awakening, infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, abundant fulfillment, profound spiritual clarity, and eternal unity abundantly within God's compassionate, eternal presence. To anyone clearly hearing my powerful testimony today, especially souls genuinely struggling deeply with disbelief, doubt, skepticism, spiritual emptiness, loneliness, confusion, grief, illness, loss, or misunderstanding, please clearly understand, profoundly, you're infinitely valued, deeply cherished, eternally loved, profoundly meaningful, genuinely invited intentionally toward authentic spiritual awakening, infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, eternal purpose, abundant fulfillment, and everlasting peace abundantly available, clearly within God's compassionate, eternal presence. If you're currently genuinely feeling spiritually disconnected, deeply confused, lonely, uncertain, skeptical, doubtful, or profoundly questioning life's deeper purpose, please sincerely, courageously, humbly, authentically, and openly seek God clearly within your heart. Genuinely ask Him clearly, openly, humbly, sincerely, and authentically to profoundly reveal Himself compassionately within your life, clearly offering genuine spiritual awakening, infinite compassion, eternal forgiveness, abundant fulfillment, everlasting unity, and profound peace, abundantly available clearly within His compassionate, eternal presence. I promise clearly, profoundly, genuinely based upon my incredible personal experience, every soul, sincerely, openly, humbly, courageously, and authentically seeking spiritual connection profoundly discovers infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, eternal purpose, abundant fulfillment, profound spiritual clarity, and everlasting peace, abundantly available clearly within God's infinite compassionate presence. Finally, clearly remember profoundly always, your existence genuinely isn't random, meaningless, accidental, or empty. You profoundly exist intentionally by infinite love, genuinely created clearly to experience authentic compassion, genuine forgiveness, eternal purpose, abundant spiritual fulfillment, profound spiritual awakening, and everlasting unity abundantly within God's infinite compassionate presence. Thank you profoundly, sincerely, compassionately, genuinely, clearly, courageously, humbly, and eternally, for clearly allowing me profoundly to share my powerful testimony, deeply awakening countless souls clearly toward authentic compassion, genuine forgiveness, infinite love, eternal purpose, abundant fulfillment, profound spiritual clarity, genuine spiritual awakening, and everlasting peace, abundantly within God's compassionate, eternal presence. Wherever you clearly find yourself spiritually today, profoundly understand clearly, you are infinitely valued, deeply cherished, eternally loved, profoundly meaningful, genuinely invited intentionally toward infinite compassion, genuine forgiveness, abundant fulfillment, profound spiritual awakening, eternal clarity, and everlasting unity abundantly within God's compassionate, eternal presence. May your life profoundly overflow clearly, infinitely with authentic compassion, eternal forgiveness, abundant spiritual fulfillment, everlasting peace, genuine spiritual awakening, infinite love, genuine humility, profound clarity, authentic openness, and eternal unity profoundly within God's infinite compassionate presence. Thank you, infinitely, clearly, profoundly, genuinely, compassionately, authentically, and eternally. And may God abundantly, profoundly, genuinely, compassionately, and infinitely bless you always and profoundly within His compassionate eternal presence.